All right, finally, this last question starts with James. How do you feel about the current distribution of funding to student organizations?
I feel that the distribution of funding to student organizations should be revised, and I encourage next year any legislation brought by any senator to deal with how we fund organizations. Anytime you deal with money, there tends to be a lot of controversy when you give this organization this much. Another organization will say, oh, well, are you biased against us? The truth is, we're not. We try to fund everyone as fairly as possible. However, for many clubs and organizations, it doesn't seem like this is good enough. We've raised the student activities fee so that we can have more money to appropriate to these clubs and organizations. And this year, the increase did take effect, and we have seen a positive impact on the response we're getting from clubs and organizations. However, there still exists some animosity. So I encourage, as future president, for any member of student government, if they have any idea on how we should appropriate this money, I welcome all ideas. I am completely open-minded. As long as it's done in a way that improves the fairness, improves the accountability of clubs and organizations on campus, I will try to help them to write it. I will try to help them to do what we can to change the way we fund, because a lot of these events that clubs are putting on are very good and they need the money for it. And these events are a positive impact on Hofstra University, and I would like to see that clubs are not limited by the way student government funds their events.
Great.
Being on the appropriations committee, I realize how hard it is to allocate money to them. As a committee, we decide, we debate, and I'm pretty sure that when we allocate money, it's usually fair. So we only have a finite amount of money, and yes, it is true that we increased the student activities fee last year, but even so, clubs will still not be able to get everything that they ask for, which is why it does cause a problem, especially for a lot of the big clubs on campus who play a vital role on this university. So therefore, if elected next year, what we want to do to help this funding problem is to create club autonomy and sports club autonomy. So basically what this would do would release the big clubs and organizations on campus if they meet a certain requirement to be released under different departments on campus. And the sports clubs, we would hope to release them under the rec center so that they can gain funding through those departments, and I'm sure that they will be satisfied with the funding that they will get via that way. And what this would do would allow SGA to have more money to allocate to other smaller clubs so that we can really help them in getting their events, to help them really push to have their events, and that we can really fund for everything that they need. I believe that this is the best possible way that we can go, and that is something that I really want to push for if elected.
Thank you. And that ends this portion of the debate. We hope that this gave the student body some ideas on what the candidates will pursue if to be elected. Now for closing statements, we will give each ticket 2 minutes to elaborate more on their platform and be able to campaign to the student body about further ideas that we have not asked toward in this debate. So why don't we start with Anil and Franky.
Basically, we want to empower the students. That is the biggest issue on campus. We want to make sure that students have an idea of the powers that they have within SGA. Because you don't just have to be a student government, a member of student government to change the university or how we run things. Because the students do have a say. So what we want to do is make known to all students on campus their powers that our Constitution allows them to have. And we want to make sure that they become more active. We will do that by student outreach, through events, and just pretty much interacting with students. And that's the best possible thing that we can do.
Yes, and going on what my partner says, we really want to see, again, more student involvement. We want to show both the resident and commuter students of Hofstra University the fun and excitement within any club, not just student government. It's important to take part here at Hofstra. It's part of the college experience, and we definitely want to empower as many students as we can. We also want to work with different departments within Hofstra, the financial aid department. We want to work with Lackman in any type of form we can. We want to work with different departments. We want to make this a funner, better place for students, and ultimately we want to just make it a progressive year as well. And I'd like to yield my time to the chair.
Thank you. Next ticket.
All right, I'll start off by saying how important budget transparency is to many of the students at Hofstra University. We are in full support of it. We would like to know where our money is going and how far our money goes. So the administration needs to provide us with an easily accessible budget each and every year. Secondly, I'd like to touch upon academics. Every semester, for every class, we're supposed to fill out teacher evaluations. However, I believe the statistic is less than 10% of the undergraduate population actually uses the results published by the provost office to find out what teachers they will learn best with. By working with the provost office to put these evaluations online, students will be able to find out what professors meet their learning styles so that they can get the most out of their education at Hofstra.
A couple other things that you and myself want to campaign for. With the recent expansion of Phi Delta Theta, Jimmy and myself are both now proud members of Greek Life. And what we want to do is we really want to build on co-sponsorships between student government and Greek Life. Also, between the two of us, we will have representatives at IFSC, IFC, PANHEL, and ALFSA to really open the lines between SGA and Greek Life. And also we will work with the Appropriations Committee and the Appropriations Chair for IFSC to make sure a proper budget proposal is completed. That way the Greeks get the funding they need and deserve. Also, one thing that's both, it's a passion of ours is greener initiatives for Hofstra. With the...
In 10 seconds.
Okay. We want to do greener initiatives like that in the Netherlands, and we really want to use SGA as a resource. It's our government, and we want to share it with everyone.
Thank you. Great job to both tickets. There were some great answers tonight to really challenging questions. So this is the end of the first debate. The second debate will be held on Wednesday, April 24th during Common Hour. It will either be held in the Student Center Theater like today or in the multipurpose room. So please keep your eyes out for the advertisements for the second debate. And to all those who came, thank you. And for the live stream, I hope that you took away something great tonight.